Hello, I am Apostolic Paladin, and you are watching Questing for Glory, and we are about to get started with Final Fantasy VI World Collide Randomizer with Keel, Jav, and Jex. Go ahead and take it away, guys.
All right, so this is a Worlds Collide draft race. So these guys, they don't know what the flags are in advance. They certainly don't know what the seed is in advance. We're going to find out live what the flags are. So this is a three-way race between Kilbasiago, Javinator, and Jexrock. All three of them have played in the recent draft tournament. I am Elastoid, and I ran that tournament with Edgeworth, who's joining me. How you doing, Edge?
I'm doing all right. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of combinations folks come up with in this draft, and it looks like we're kicking this off right now.
So it looks like Kilbasiago started out with dragons on Hassel. That means all 8 dragons are going to be required to finish this Worlds Collide seed. So we know right away this is going to be a little bit tough.
All right, now we followed it up with Coliseum being open season. So there is a flag option in this randomizer, which opens up a preview menu for the Coliseum so you can see what exactly you're getting. And we're going to have a whole bunch of real strong items available.
Absolutely. Coliseum being randomized. Now that you can see what everything is in the menu, it's become a very useful thing to visit. Before, it just wasn't worth the time going through each individual item to try and figure out what was available. But now it's going to be playing a part in these races.
So yeah, with the 8 dragons required, it's definitely we're definitely gonna need to find a fair amount of characters because of the character gating, which and correct me if I'm wrong, Elastoid, we're going to need Locke, Cyan, and Edgar.
Just Cyan and Edgar. That is assuming that they don't turn Y remove on. There was a recent change. So for the dev site, there's actually the Phoenix Cave is accessible without lock. That was a change that Atma made with the intention of making the 8 dragons available for this race. So he came through, and Kilbasiago immediately drafting that in an attempt to, I guess, make that worth it.
So we've got another follow-up draft of no free progression, and what this basically does is ensure that no character or Esper will be found at any of the spots which are immediately accessible upon starting a seed. This is both good and bad. You start off a little slower, but you also those items that can be found at this spot could potentially be pretty nice and give you a leg up on the seed.
Absolutely. It's comparable to the no free lunch flag that people might be familiar with from the free enterprise. However, this one instead of having just nothing there, it is a useful item. And it looks like we've also had a few choices really quickly. Enemies are standard, so there's some aggressive scaling with the progress, but the bosses should have low enough HP that it should be easy to handle. And then Jexrox went ahead and put abilities on Stronger, which is going to make like Shock and Throw and Blitz much more likely to show up.
Yeah, and then following that up, we've got a selection of Y remove from Javinator, which is pretty nice when paired with 8 dragons. So what I just said about 8 dragons, you can kind of throw that out the window. It's going to make getting to those dragons a lot easier, and it opens up some more checks which you normally wouldn't be able to get to in the beginning.
Yeah, so it looks like Y remove is going to make it so we don't have any work concerns about about which characters you need in order to get to the dragons. Equipment's just going to be standard, and it looks like Jex is drafting high requirements. So in order to beat this seed, we're going to need to find 8 characters, 16 espers, and 12 dragons. Or, I'm sorry, 8 dragons. 12 would be very impressive.
We're just making some up on the fly. And then we finished it out with the draft of magic being rare. Espers will have 1 to 2 spells, and only 1 character will have natural magic. So, magic's going to be a little bit on the tight side, but with the abilities being stronger, I think we'll see a lot more of that being taken advantage of.
Yes.
We had one question in chat. How mean are the settings? Magimaster concluding the fight with Ultima is a flag. We currently have it turned off in the race standard. But that's something you can definitely turn on should you so choose.
Absolutely. These there's a lot of stuff that's actually been added as well that's very difficult. So I mean, Magi Master using Ultima is standard. We turned it off to make it easier, but there's also permadeath, which eliminates all Phoenix Downs and all life spells from the game and makes it so staying in an inn or using a tent doesn't revive your characters. So that can be a very, very difficult flag to use. Also, these characters are going to be using alternate universe sprites. That was an incentive that was donated to, in addition, not just from people who are watching, but also the community itself donated. Worlds Collide has its own Twitch channel, and the proceeds from that channel from the last month have gone directly into to Nami in order to make these sprites alternate universe. So definitely proud of that. Speaking of Nami, before we get started, can our host tell us a little bit about it?
Absolutely. We are benefiting Nami. You guys can check out the hashtag QFGHH2 or hashtag together4MH. We're supporting NAMI, which is a National Alliance on Mental Illness, nation's largest grassroots mental health organization whose work is focused around 3 pillars: education and support, awareness, and advocacy. And what does that mean for awareness? NAMI participates in nationwide awareness opportunities like Mental Health Month, Suicide Prevention Month, Mental Illness Awareness Week. NAMI has partnerships with a wide range of companies and organizations, for example, Fox Sports and Google, that NAMI uses to get their name and the mission in front of a new audience.
All right, so it looks like they're getting their seeds up to date. Looks like Kielbasi is having a bit of a technical difficulty, but he's going to get his correct seed in just a moment. With all of these pixel changes, it's hard to get a specific link to this. So the runners are prepared, but there's a reason we check hashes. Yep. So the delay almost being done. Edge, do you have any predictions for this particular race?
I think we're gonna see a pretty darn close race. What I am curious about is who just basically goes for broke and checks out the Coliseum first, because I think that whenever Coliseum is open season, it's typically not something we see in races. So I think whoever ends up there first could end up with some game-breaking stuff out the other end.
Okay, so with that, we're about ready. So, Edge, I'm going to ask you to count it down because I'm not sure if after I quit, it's going to kick me out of the room.
Okay.
So you're in there. You ready?
Yeah. While I'm counting it down, oh, there it goes. It's gonna count down automatically. I guess the other thing to bring up while we have a little bit of time is
3, 2, 1, go.
3.
Timer's going.
Yep, we're
We're
going.
using their timer. Okay, sorry. You were saying?
The scale elements flag.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so we may see, because of all the discussion of Magimaster in here, we have some of the attacks being scaled relative to the level um, uh, scaling, and what that basically means is Magimaster might not be throwing out like Bolt 3 and Ice 3 when you first run into him. Let's see, we got Red Cap and Dragonhorn, and
And the Curse Shield has 6 fights. More interestingly, we start with Shadow and Umaro because of the incentive was met. Shadow has Shock.
oh,
So
it's gonna be real nice.
that's going to be key, absolutely, for these early fights.
Well, long story short, you're gonna see some different abilities from enemies than you normally would. Same element, different strength.
Yes, after this race goes, if anybody wants the link to this particular seed, I'll be sure to post it. Um, we, for obvious reasons, don't give that out during the race. It looks like they're all just gonna do the Narsh start. With Y remove enabled, you can get that Paladin shield, or that Curse shield rather, right away. So it's hard to disagree with this play.
Yeah, it's funny watching just this giant Yeti remove a bunch of scholars. It's like, get out of my way, nerd.
They want to teach the Yeti how to read, and he's just not having it. So it looks like Kilbasiago going to be the first one to switch worlds. He's going back to World of Balance, and what is he doing? Is he? Oh, he's just going to the shed. You know, you can get in there in World of Ruin, man. So yeah, so far not seeing any particularly interesting equipment, with the exception of the ribbon. That's going to make it even easier to unlock the Paladin shield, and the Paladin shield's going to be pretty important.
All right, so meanwhile, we've got Jex checking out the monster in a box, and those are shuffled as well amongst all of the monsters in a box, and just finds the Spectre. So enjoy your free hyper wrist.
Yeah, Spectre is just going to give the hyper wrist. Looks like Kielbasiaga's already shopping. He set the shops to standard, so 40% of the items in here are going to be random. It looks like we already see Super Balls, and they're under 10k. They're just under 10k, so we'll see if anybody chooses that as the strategy. Meanwhile, looks like Javnator's going to stay in the World of Ruin and clear out Albrook.
Yeah, nothing too good in the relic shop. Meanwhile, we've got Jex has found an offering, so that's pretty nice. We just need to find some of the weapons that synergize pretty well with it, and has also found the dried meat and some revivifies.
Absolutely, dried meat required if we find Gao to do his check. So it's always just a good thing to grab. Kesty in chat did Worlds Collide add NPC guillotine? Not exactly. They added something called Y remove, which means while you're running around, you can use the Y button to remove an NPC that's in your way. Not only does it remove certain NPCs, but it also removes certain blocks. So it allows you to sequence break in the randomizer. So you'll notice on the tracker that they've done the Narsh weapon shop. That Narsh weapon shop normally requires lock to get through, but if you just Y remove the door in front of it, you can get through. So that's what's going on here.
All right, so we've got earrings and another dragon horn in South Figaro, along with the hero ring. So that's when you've got the cash, time to come back later. And meanwhile, in returners, Jex finds an ice shield, which is always nice because that teaches ice too.
Javnator using Y remove to remove the Magitech armor in the way. It's always so satisfying to remove whatever's in the way, and you don't lose time the way you would talking to something with NPC guillotine in Final Fantasy 1. So definitely a very satisfying flag, and recommended for anybody who's trying this game and casually and wants to have some fun.
So Jex is just gonna pick up the starter kit of items right now, and it's always good to be able to cure status and res and heal for a little bit.
Absolutely. Normally you would start with a lot of these items, but with the austere incentive met, they're starting with 0 gold and 0 items, 0 equipment on their characters. So anything that they find is going to be useful. So as would be predictable for a seed like this, all 3 racers, they're just looking for some of the free checks in these towns. They're trying to build up an amount of gold before they go into all of these shops, because you're gonna need some amount of money before you can buy anything.
Yeah,
Thunder rods.
Yeah, rods, no adjustment made to them. They ignore magic defense and are thus extremely useful, but only when they're broken. So it's a consumable item, but it can certainly get you the foothold that you need to start a seed. And Javinator finds in the basement a thunder shield, amongst other things.
Yeah, so as far as consumable weapons go, we've seen super balls and we've seen thunder rods in the South Figaro in World of Balance. So that's going to be potentially all the early game that they need. Yet to see whether any of them will employ that as a strategy, though.
All right, in World of Balance South Figaro Armor Shop, we have Minerva's for sale. So if you're just loaded with cash, that's a pretty good place to get rid of it.
Yeah, Minerva's always a great find, but it's very, very difficult to justify spending that much money. Though less difficult when you're running with the no free progression flag on, as we know we're not going to need to use the auction house. The Zen merchant isn't going to have anything particularly useful. So, with that in mind, they can afford to throw some money around.
Well, the price for the Zen merchant is random, so if it happens to roll low, it's certainly worth taking a peek to see if you can, steal an Illumina or something.
Yeah, so people in chat saying free seed hype. Yeah, a lot of the bosses are going to be free, but when I say a lot of the bosses, we got to remember there are going to be a lot of bosses fought. We need 8 characters, 12 espers, and 8 dragons. So I don't predict that we're going to come in massively underestimate.
Alright, so now it's Javinator's turn going through Returner Cave. It's Jex's turn to explore the Figaro basement along with Keel. So we've had a little bit of a route divergence, but everything is kind of slowly coming back together.
Yeah, to people who are familiar with randomizers, but not necessarily Final Fantasy VI, one of the really cool things about this rando is that it doesn't gate progression behind any specific character most of the time. You just need X number of characters, X number of espers. So you will see a lot of divergence in the routes that they take as the seeds go on, because there's plenty of things that you can do. Oftentimes, players will take 2 completely different checks and never see the same characters. So definitely, if you're into complex routing and not looking for that one specific item that you need for go mode, I recommend this randomizer as something to try out.
Well, we have Super Balls in Edgar's Castle. Unfortunately, you don't get the discount without Edgar, but it's still pretty nice, and I would be very tempted to sell that ribbon, but I think Jex wants to hold on to that to help decurse the shield.
Absolutely. Like, decursing this shield is going to be one of the more important things that you can do. He's only got 2 characters, really 1.5, because Umaro isn't somebody who you can use reliably. Putting that paladin shield on the character and making sure that he survives is going to be a very high priority.
I guess the other thing that I'm noticing is that a lot of these cheap items are getting just thrown out the window as well, and those regal cutlasses could convert to something pretty good in the Coliseum. But as of yet, none of the runners have given it a shot yet.
Yeah. It does appear that Kilbasiago's tracker is not auto-updating.
Let's see, we've got a lot of consumables here in Albrook on Keel's side. And, yeah, Javinator is setting up Shadow to... apparently not do much of anything.
Oh, Shadow has shock, so hopefully he'll find a use for him. Looks like Keel's forgetting that he can use wire move to get past this NPC. Giving him a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think two earrings on Shadow goes a pretty long way. That will definitely boost, and yeah, there's the earring pickup. So yeah, that's what we were looking for, and not in the inventory. And then you might as well just throw the gauntlet on Umaro or the hyper wrist. I think hyper wrist is actually better early, right?
Oh, hyper wrist is definitely better when you don't have a weapon, and it doesn't look like Umaro does.
We've got flame shields for sale in I don't know which Famasa this is.
But yeah, flame shields for sale, absolutely. If you get a lot of money, it's going to be useful. So it depends entirely. Like if we find a cat hood, or we take a lot of, it looks like World of Balance. If we find a cat hood, or we take a lot of random encounters, then that's going to put a lot of gold in our pockets. Meanwhile, it looks like Javinator's going to Floating Continent right away. I feel like I would have done Velt Cave before I do this. This is a dangerous play, but if it pays off for him, it'll be quite interesting.
Yeah, this is an incredibly aggressive play, and it really matters. Well, if you're gonna find a bunch of undead enemies, that's pretty solid.
All three of these racers have quite the pedigree when it comes to the draft setting. Keel Basiago ultimately won the draft tournament. Javinator came in second, and Jex was the only player to take a win off of Keel Basiago. So all three of them are quite good at this, and they've been practicing for quite a while.
So it looks like we found an Aura Lance in the Coliseum, which is what Jex is currently going for.
Makes a lot of sense. We've already got the Dragon Horn and the Dragoon Boots. When you're jumping with the Dragon Horn, that's going to be one of the best things. Meanwhile, Experience Egg available for the Ice Shield. I feel like I would go for that.
Oh boy, yeah, I would definitely want to see what that goes for. The earlier you can get that egg, the better off you are.
Yes, it's a minor meme to shout the word egg whenever you see it, but it looks like Jack's not really in a shouting mood when it comes to it. He's trying to make a decision here.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some high value items that you can pick up here for basically trading in garbage items for something great. So if Jex is fundraising for something specific, this makes me wonder where this is going to end. And on Javinator's side, we have the first boss of the game.
Yeah, Javinator taking on number 128. World of Balance bosses tend to be easier, so he's in good shape here. Wasn't guaranteed that like he could run into something like Magi Master right off the bat, but lucky here that not only is it something that it's fairly easy, it's something that's weak to the Thunder Rods that he's got.
Yeah, so this should be a pretty quick fight. In the meantime, yeah, Jex is just totally loaded up this Yeti. Gosh, Red Jacket just complements everything that Umaro is about. Well, we've got Keel checking out the Coliseum as well, so let's see what are the desirable items for Keel.
Dragonhorn seems fairly free, but you've already got one.
Alright, this next one is going to be a little tricky for Jav, but not impossible. Shock, fortunately, being non-elemental, goes through Flame Eater's defenses. Otherwise, trying to throw Thunder Rods into a Flame Eater just does not work.
Yeah, Flame Eater, fortunately, would be a lot harder if the enemies were set to anything other than standard or easy, because when it has a lot of HP, it can be a problem. But he'll get through there and find an Esper.
Keel, meanwhile, was trying to take out a Brain Pan and got a Blowfish to the face as a result. So
yeah, that's...
no free red cap.
Yeah, that's a bit of a drag, but, you know. The Coliseum isn't always predictable. Umaro is famously pretty strong in the Coliseum, but he's not invincible. And with 83 total HP, it's going to be real hard to tank 1,000 damage.
We've got a question in chat, Elastoid. What is the scaling in this seed?
So the scaling values, let me just bring them up so I can answer exactly. It's standard, which means the enemies are going to have their levels at 2.5 times progress. Their HP, though, is only going to be 1.5 times progress. So they're a little bit of glass cannons. Meanwhile, the XP is going to be based on the party's level and not the enemy's. So whatever level the party is, enemy fights will still be significant to their XP.
So it looks like Keel is just going to decurse the Paladin Shield, which, I mean, there is no better piece of gear when it comes to adding durability than that. So it's going to make a lot of bosses easier, and it's something that I'm sure Javinator wishes he had for this Goddess fight.
Yeah, Goddess is not the worst fight, but certainly not the best case scenario to fight here. You're gonna have some amount of difficulty. You've got he's taken off the ice shield. He was absorbing the flash. Okay, I guess Goddess uses a lot of thunder, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
But fortunately,
scaling works out.
Yeah, with the low scaling, he was able to take care of it fairly quickly. Fortunate, because it could have been bad. You know, this boss, particularly with Umaro and Love Token, you know, it could have been a problem. But he's already at level 17, so Javinator chugging along pretty well, while the others are still collecting items. Looks like Hilbasiago doing the safer play of checking the Velt Cave. More likely to find a character here.
Yeah, so aggressive play from Javinator, paying off big time. This is going to, or should, open the seat up quite a bit.
Absolutely. There is one final boss, but it is possible to get through it by Y remove. So we'll see if that works, or we'll see if Javinator remembers that. A lot of runners have forgotten that Y remove can be used in certain stages. Meanwhile, it looks like Keel, took off the Moogle Charm and is taking some fights here in the Velt Cave. These Ings are they fall to revivifies if he uses them, but it looks like he's just going to rely on Shock to take care of them.
Ah, yes. Shocking.
And it looks like Jav did indeed forget that he could get past that boss with Y remove, but it was just an Ultros, I think, so he didn't get punished by it. If that had been Magi Master, he'd been kicking himself.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, it's just an experience pinata, which is, you'll take it at this stage of the game.
Absolutely. It looks like he's going to Coliseum now. He'll be the third character or third racer to visit Coliseum, but he will have significant levels. So whatever he sees that he wants, he'll probably be able to get. We've got Behemoth suits for tents. That looks pretty good. And offerings available. Experience egg. Is Javinator going to go for it? It looks like he's not.
So I've got another question about Y remove in chat, and it's essentially you can remove NPCs that are in your way, but you can also use it to sequence break certain things, like the rusty door blocking Mount Zozo in World of Ruin Zozo, for instance.
Absolutely. Y remove has the added effect of making it so you can, at least in this build, take on all 8 dragons without needing any specific character. So Mount Zozo, as Edge just referred to, as well as getting underground in the Figaro Castle, will be available without Edgar and Cyan, respectively.
Oh boy, that's a Dark Force guarding the Ice Shield. I mean, it's good turn order. We'll see if Umaro can do another flying tackle.
Yeah, you never know how this is going to go. Taken care of easily. Javinator handled it, and he's got an experience egg for his trouble.
Yes.
So,
I mean, that's gonna be a very, very high level character over the course of this 8, 12, and 8 seed.
Surprisingly, putting that experience egg on Umaro, it looks like Javinator is planning on using Umaro for the duration of the seed, rather than putting it on Shadow with Shock, which I feel would be much more of a lock to stay in.
And we've got Keel going after a dragon early, and this is one of the nicer dragons to run into, especially when you have a Thunder Shield.
Well, yes and no. He also has Thunder Rod, so he'd probably prefer like a dragon that was weak to that. This fight will take a little bit longer because he's forced to shock. These dragons are not scaled, so it's going to take him about 30 of these shocks to get through. That said, he'll the dragon isn't really a threat to him, so we'll see how he gets through.
Well, in order to save time, we're going to just throw ice shields, and yeah, that's about 3 turns saved there.
But is it worth it for the ice shield? So yeah, this fight gonna take a while. Meanwhile, it looks like Jax is going through Floating Continent, and Jav's gonna find, what character is that? I don't recognize the sprites because they have been changed, but he finds a character.
Well, this is unfortunately one of the worst fights to run into when you've got only 2 characters. But Jav's characters are fairly strong right now, and you can quarter one of these guys, so that's pretty solid.
Little strange that he's... I guess it does give him an idea of how much HP these guys have. It looks like they'd be covered by 2 shocks, so just get shocking, man.
Oh, that's a good chunk of damage. We'll see if Umaro gets dropped here.
Yeah, they're likely to discard Umaro after that. Quarter doing 1,200 means that each one of them has about 1,600 HP, so this shock will take care of it. Demi buff to Quarter asked in chat. Final Fantasy VI has both Demi and Quarter as spells.
Oh, so I think that was a...
Oh man, Ah. So that it looks like it's a character, but it's not. The egg is useful, but it's not a character.
Well,
So
it's 2 eggs now.
yeah, so it looks like the only character that's available is going to be the Umaro check. So we're gonna have to go through Tritalk, which might explain why Kilbasiago elected to go here. He's taking the dragon on the way, and he just underestimated the HP of this dragon. He's been at it since I think since Obama administration.
We've certainly been here a while, but I mean, the levels you get out of this are going to be pretty incredible.
Absolutely, because these dragons are unscaled. If you can get through one, it's worth a lot of XP. But this is the kind of thing that I would definitely be purchasing some super balls for in advance. You know, you can wind up doing up to 8,000 with these super balls. So when you're at low level and you're only doing 1k per shock, that's the kind of thing you want. Meanwhile, Jex is up in the floating continent. He's going to be disappointed finding no characters here, but he doesn't know that. We will see if he thinks to why remove the boss. And Javinator is going to make an interesting play. You see, it's true that progression is locked behind the Yeti, but the logic doesn't account for Y remove, so it's possible that there's a character in Magitech 3. And it looks like that's what Javinator is going to go for. So he's going to go for the 2 Espers that are in Magitech 1 and 2, and then go straight past it to Magitech 3 and see if there's a character waiting there. That's an interesting play. I feel like if I was going to skip progression, I would be looking at Figaro Cave, or South Figaro, the Figaro Castle before I do that, but we'll see how this plays out for Jav.
Yeah, I would certainly consider Mount Zozo myself, but...
Absolutely, that's another free one. Although because it's free, I'm not sure if it's going to have progression there. And Javinator might not want to do that until he feels he can take the dragon, because you don't want to double dip.
Yeah.
But he did ask us specifically to call out each and every one of the things that he did that could be perceived as mistakes. So let's take this moment to say, yeah, you should be going to Figaro Castle, man. What are you doing?
Well, now we've got Jex into the goddess fight, and it's a much more favorable arrangement here. So Lullaby isn't going to put both of them to sleep.
Yes, Lullaby, of course, incredibly annoying to deal with Goddess because she doesn't do too many physical attacks. It looks like Kilbasiago, having dealt with that dragon finally, is going to make short work of Welk in the Tritalk spot. This is going to be most likely an Esper. There is one dead check out there because they started with 2 characters, so most of the checks that they do are going to be are going to have characters or Espers. And this is going to be the only character that's in logic right now is going to be in Umaro's cave.
Yeah, meanwhile, Javinator picks up an Esper that teaches Ice 3. I believe it was Tritech. So, looking pretty good there.
Absolutely. Shadow has Shock, and that's really useful for the early game, but it's quickly outclassed by spells like the Tier 3 magic. So, definitely going to want to get something like that eventually.
I thought that was Ultros 4, but it looks like we've got Ultros 2, and I think we also just found something else that teaches Ice 3, so Magitech Factory is the cool place to be this time around.
Yeah, this is absolutely paying off for Javinator. Meanwhile, Ifrit is... Where are we? Oh yeah, in the Umaro's cave spot. So we'll see which character this is. I didn't recognize it from the sprite because I didn't take the time to study these alternate universe sprites. I underestimated how much money would be donated towards them.
All right, we've got
Someone.
we've got the Chancellor.
Probably Edgar, because he's a king. Yeah, it's Edgar. Edgar has lore, which will not be particularly useful with his magic stat, but you never know. Like, the abilities are on stronger, so he's going to start with a lot of lores. Meanwhile, Jax also forgot that he could wire move past the boss, or chose not to, whichever.
Yeah, so with lore and a low magic stat, you're typically looking for things along the lines of like Whirlwind, because healing magic for Kefka's Tower can be surprisingly hard to come by sometimes.
Absolutely, though I've tended to rely on healing items just for that reason. It's just so unreliable to expect to get magic. Looks like Edgar in Kilbasiago's side is going to immediately become a Dragoon with that Aura Lance. That's unsurprising. He's going to be pretty strong with that.
Yeah, and I don't know if we've taken a look at any of the Esper bonuses, but if we find one that is plus to strength, that will go a long way into making the Dragoon an even more viable build.
Yeah, so Kilbasiago going to grab the 3 Espers that are chilling in Floating Continent. As it stands, it looks like Javinator has a pretty clear lead. He started doing these checks significantly earlier than the other 2, and he's got the levels to sort of counteract any equipment deficiency that he might have, or any equipment deficit. So looks like the Magitech play is not going to get him a character, though. So he will be behind Kilbasiago in terms of characters.
Well, it's fortunate that this Ice Rod was found by Javinator, because otherwise this fight can be kind of a drag.
Yeah, the Three Stooges fight is one of the ones where, it often wipes unprepared party members. Shadow did have Ice 3, so I feel like he would have been able to handle it, but you're not going to sneeze the Ice Rod.
No, this is definitely one of those randomizers where you can get affected by too good to use sort of syndrome, and I'm going to hold on to these rare items until the end of the game. What if I need them?
That is true. Though the other thing about Worlds Collide is the final boss is a final boss gauntlet. It's so very common to find uses for things in Kefka's Tower. You're going to be facing those 5 bosses on top of the final fight. So you very often wind up breaking shields or having something to handle at the end of it. I think it's one of the things that sets this rando apart is that the final dungeon is always a test of your ability, or at the very least something that's going to take a lot of time to get through. So it looks like Jex is on the Gold Dragon. He's going to be the second one to get the Edgar character, and Jav possibly going to be a distant third there. But he's so far ahead in Espers right now.
Oh, we found the economizer for sale, but unfortunately, as fun as Gembox Economizer is in a casual run, it is quite slow as far as a speedrun perspective goes.
Also, with Ultima disabled, the only useful spell that you could really Gembox Economizer would be Merton. Right, like Gembox alone could be useful in a few instances, but you're very rarely going to have the kind of MP need that lends itself to using an economizer.
Yeah, I think you can definitely get some mileage done with the full set of the tier 3 spells, especially going through.
So Javinator gonna go to Kefka at Narsh and find Fusoyo, who I believe is Strago. So careful what you wish for there, Javinator. I would absolutely prefer finding Edgar.
Yeah, we joke a lot about Strago's checks being awful. It's not a joke; they're terrible.
Yeah, Strago has a lot in common with Kielbasa in that he's the worst.
Oh, that's rude.
I said Kielbasa, not Kielbasiago.
Guys, do we have time to read some donations?
Absolutely.
All right, there is a plethora. So we got $25 from Night Flyer. No comment. Thank you, Night Flyer. Mr. Entity donates $5 and says, "Wee." We have $5 from the Red Baron, who says, "Punch this clown in the face. Let's go." We have $50 from Turk Dog. Says, "Donating because Final Fantasy VI is my favorite Final Fantasy, the best OST, and the best randomizer." Thank you so much, Turk Dog.
So true.
Jolly Green Ray donates $5 and says, "Let's go, Jex." We have a $25 donation from Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous. Wells donates $20 and says, "Terra is not a high-quality character in Final Fantasy VI. Donate to tell me I'm wrong." There's your challenge, chat.
Yeah, well, hopefully someone will have a donation to chime in and you know, back up everybody's favorite best girl, Terra.
We also, you were mentioning Strago. We have a couple more. Is it okay to read some more?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I hope I say this right. Hash Malum donates $50 and says, "3 awesome runners. I hope they all win." I can win. And we have a $66.66 from Anonymous. He says, "Shout out to Atma and everyone in the Worlds Collide Discord. So glad to be a part of the community. Good luck to everyone. And there's an extra $6.66 if someone does all of the Strago's checks."
Well, we might be in that boat right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, having Strago at this time and having the requirements as they are, it's not outside the realm of possibility by any long shot. I don't feel like I would. I feel like I would find a way to not do all of Strago's checks, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. They're definitely going to be doing Fanatic's Tower because there's a dragon there.
Can you remove the talking treasure chest?
Oh, I wish, but no, you're actually not able to step up to it.
Oh.
When you take a step forward, it triggers its cutscene.
Gotcha.
If only. That would make Strago a little bit less terrible. There's some discussion in chat, is Strago worse than Gao and all that? In the randomizer, Gao is actually a very strong character. He gets 2 random abilities instead of just the 1. So he's more likely to get something really cool like Blitz or Sword Tech. He's also got pretty strong base stats. His magic is comparable to Strago's, and he's got really strong strength, vigor. And finally, when you look at the checks, Strago checks are long and time-consuming. You're looking at Burning House, you're looking at Fanatic's Tower, which is just such a slog, and then Ebbett's Rock, which is theoretically the fastest, but you never know what the RNG is going to send you, so it can take a long time. So Strago checks, generally considered the worst. Whereas Gao checks, you've got Serpent Trench, which is pretty fast, and the Velt is even faster. So, in this particular rando, there's no comparison.
All right. Well, we're going to have a dragon fight on Jack's side in a bit, and it is the Storm Dragon.
Storm Dragon weak to thunder, so those thunder rods, if he's still got any, would be fairly useful. Instead, it looks like he's using shock. Looks like Kilbasiago is finding what might be a character. It looks like Red Skull in the South Figaro cave. And Javinator going to go ahead and get the character here. He's going to find Edgar, but first he's got a dragon to fight, and I'm expecting him to handle this a lot faster than he found or than Kilbasiago handled this fight. Just he's got way more levels, and he's got Ice 3. Looks like Strago has throw, so Strago actually going to be a useful character in combat.
Yep, if we can find, say, a plus vigor or a plus speed, Esper will be in pretty good shape.
Oh, that's Papyrus is who that is. It's Papyrus, but with the messed up palette.
Yeah.
It's like, was that Red Skull? Well, it was a skull and he was red, so I was close.
It's by Price is Right rules, right? You were closest without going over.
And if you blinked, you missed it. The tunnel armor that was blocking our Papyrus character. So we'll see who this turns out to be. It's a Magicite, because of course it's not a character.
Oh my goodness, so from that dragon fight, Jex just got a Valiant Knife. So we have Valiant Knife offering in play right now.
Valiant Knife offering incredibly strong, especially given the levels that they're going to get to. That's going to be 40k every turn. Well, once he gets to the later levels. Meanwhile, I'm trying to find the sprite guide.
So at the end of the tunnel, we find the Odin Esper, which is Strength +1. So handed directly to the Dragoon. And we also have a HP +50% Esper in Jex's inventory as well. So it's all looking pretty good for that Valiant Knife setup right now.
I give up. Absolutely, it's going to be a very strong piece of equipment. It's hard to say. I mean, with abilities set to stronger, it's not really. You're rarely going to have an instance where you can't find a way to beat the bosses. It's always just a question of what's the fastest, and that can fall behind in terms of just routing can be better. So we'll see how it goes. It does sort of suck to find like a dead check, but obviously dragons are, they're just going to give you equipment either way.
Okay, so Keel finds an Atmo weapon.
Atmo weapon.
Which is of note, given the randomizer settings, the Atmo weapon is stronger than it is in vanilla. So we're about to see just how strong it is.
Yeah, Atmo weapon typically divides its damage by your level. Or, I'm sorry, multiplies its damage by your level and divides it by 64. All right. In this instance, in the randomizer with these flags, it divides it actually by 32. So it's in practice twice as strong. That's because you're so rarely going to hit the high 60s in levels. However, in these flags, with the all 8 unscaled dragons required, it's quite possible that these characters are going to be well into the 60s before they finish the seed. Already, they're doing just massive damage with the thunder rods and Edgar with his jumping, and consider they've got a little over an hour still to go.
Yeah, it's just it is kind of crazy how quickly you can get set up once you kind of get the feel for this randomizer. Unfortunately, Edgar is going to take a nap.
Yeah, Edgar not going to get the XP from this, but it'll be fine. You know, like there's going to be experience falling out of everybody's ears when the seed is done. So, Javinator spend a bit of time trying to figure out who's going to get the experience egg. He's going to be the first character, or first racer, I believe, to get 4 characters. Definitely solidifying his lead here. Although he has fewer dragons than Jex does, he's ahead in all the other categories. Although Kibasiago killed that. Oh yeah. Kibasiago's got two dragons as well. There we go. So it seems like he didn't get any characters there. So Strago required. When you find Edgar, he actually doesn't have any characters for you.
Yeah, so I think one of the checks that I like to do immediately with Strago is to just poke my head into the Fanatics Tower, just to see if there's a character wandering back and forth in front. It's good information to know what you're going to get from that check.
Absolutely. I feel like they're not doing that just because they know that they're going to do Fanatics Tower either way, with there being a dragon there. But we'll see what they choose to do. I feel like that's going to be the first Strago check that I would do, and I would have my fingers crossed and say maybe it's the only Strago check I have to do. Meanwhile, yeah, Kibasiago going to do Mount Zozo. This check is out of logic, but it's available thanks to Y remove. So, still checking chests. I don't know, I guess they still have a lot of gaps in their equipment that could be filled. So,
well, I mean, I think I like Edgar with the Dragoon layout a lot. Umaro with Valiant Knife offering is also pretty solid. Shadow can use magic and shock whenever necessary, so just what will you do for the 4th character?
You got Strago with Throw, so that's a fairly easy build right there. You know, and you also have like there were offerings for sale, and you've got Umaro with either the Valiant Knife or the Atma weapon that Kibasiago found. So there's going to be builds to spare. My question is just what do they choose to use?
Yeah, and just look at that Atma weapon go.
Yes, and they're all covering each other's checks right now. So if there's any other announcements to be read right now would be a great time.
We do have some more donations.
Excellent.
And I just refreshed, and there are a lot of more donations. Wow. Okay, so we have $5 from Dusk Lamond. Says, love Final Fantasy VI, Worlds Collide, best randomizer. We have $20 from Sid. Sid in the game, I guess? Let's go runners, boo Jack. Poor Jack. $25 from Queen Burbs. No comment. Thank you. Jolly Green Ray donates $5. 3 runners, 3 different routes. My eyes are vibrating. We have a $25 donation from Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous. We have a $165 donation. I wish I could hear clapping right now. I hope I don't butcher your name. Emilus? Thank you so much for that generous donation. Rockadilio donates $50 and says, Elixir, cha-ching. Hope I don't butcher this one. Kaylor donates $25. I want to see a Yeti punch a clown in his big stupid face. Kaiser donates $25. Says, been addicted to Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide runs for a while now. Love to watch 3 of my favorite runners duke it out for a great cause. We have a $400 donation from Anonymous.
That was me clapping into the mic.
Thank you so much, Anonymous. Jolly Green Ray also comes back with another $5 and says, Terra is the best girl. Green hair, don't care. We have a $5 donation from Countdown, who says, I am donating since Wells is clearly wrong. I am not sure about what. However, that isn't as important as he is wrong. Thank you, Countdown. Thank you all for those generous donations. I want to see us get to 20,000 before the end of this race. Can we do that?
Given the evidence that we have so far, I absolutely believe that we can. Thank you, everybody, for your generous donations.
Yes.
Looks like we're renaming Strago to the number 2. And we're renaming on Japanators. Oh, we're using these rename cards. It says, donate to Nami, please. So definitely have a great message from Javanator.
Thank you very much, Javanator, and thanks everyone for the incredibly generous donations.
Someone please donate to change a name to Budge. Well, if it's possible to contact these runners in their race room if it was something that was really requested, I think it's possible to get it done. So, looks like Keel and Jax look like they're neck and neck, having completed largely the same checks and done largely the same stuff. And it's Javanator who he's done the Magitech Research Facility and he's done Kefket and Narsh. So that puts him ahead by a little bit. And once he's finished finished with this check, he'll be clearly ahead as both of his opponents are sort of playing catch-up.
Yeah, Keel, retracing some of Javanator's exploration earlier into the Magitech factory now. So, seems like all of the paths are kind of converging now that there's not much left to be done to avoid the Strago checks.
Absolutely. You find out early in the seed, like it can be either very, very open or very, very closed, depending on how many characters you find early. When you're starting with just the 2 characters and one of them is Umaro, it often leads to more linear seeds. But you never know. You could get Terra and Sabin in the first couple checks and just find character after character. In this instance, though, it looks like they, whether they like it or not, are going to be convergent.
Yeah, Javinator just making short work of the blue dragon. I don't think you could really gear up much better than Jav did for that fight.
Absolutely. And every time he's on screen, or he's in combat, you see on screen his message to all of you: donate to Nami, please.
Also gets a Magus Rod from that fight, so that's a pretty nice magic boost as well.
Absolutely, that's going to give +7 to your magic, as would an Enhancer Sword or Ragnarok or Illumina. If Shadow can equip it, he's the one who I would expect to. It's interesting. Javinator did find Strength Esper and chose to put it on his Dragoon rather than putting it on Strago, who has Throw. So we'll see what he chooses to do with Strago. It doesn't seem that he's going to be using Throw nearly as much as he's going to be using magic from him.
My question is, I think we've definitely seen tack stars in shop. In shops, the question is, do any of the runners remember where they are? Because you really don't need that much strength to do a lot of damage with those.
My recollection is that Javinator tends to take notes. I don't know about the other two runners, though.
One of the other interesting things you can do with Y remove is to remove the rubble that blocks the doorway, or whatever is blocking the doorway when the castle is underground, so you can just walk out and we'll never be able to get back into the castle again.
Absolutely, which is a way to save time, but if you choose to do that before checking the any of the checks, or rather the Ancient Castle check, I guess, you could soft lock yourself if the only progression is a character there. So this particular flag, the Y remove, is it comes with a disclaimer that it's possible to soft lock yourself if you use it silly. So it looks, I want to say it looks like it's a character, but who knows with these sprites? It's a character or an Esper.
I mean, either way, though, we do have Umaro is just going to swing no matter what, and we've got a lot of magic on Shadow, so this shouldn't be too difficult of a trip up. And everyone has to do it anyway because there is a dragon here.
Absolutely. When it comes to Fnatic's Tower, most people tend to lean on magic, although I've felt that leaning on breakables is usually the more reliable way to handle things. Looks like, yeah, Ice Dragon not going to be particularly kind with Ice 3 being his best spell, so Thunder Rod's possibly going to be the way he goes with this. But yeah, even though Thunder isn't the best attack for the Ice Dragon, he's still going to break through fairly quickly because he does have the levels.
Yeah, and on Jex's side, we have our first look at the dragon on stage, and it's the red dragon. Not a terribly difficult fight, especially when you're loaded with Ice 3.
I think it's a good play to take this fight on as soon as you feel like you can. You know, getting the extra experience isn't going to hurt.
Yeah, whenever you're in the neighborhood, definitely worth swinging by.
Yeah, and he's going to be rewarded with a Minerva for his trouble, so he's not going to want to put that on the same character as using the Paladin shield. Who can wear just the Yeti? Oh, that's fine. The Yeti's got the Atma weapon. He's going to be glad to be resisting that. Although the Yeti's going to be in the front row, and Minerva does not have a lot of physical defense, so that's going to be potentially a risk.
Alright, meanwhile, Jex is going to join Javinator in the tower.
Virtual high five, as 'twere, as they're both in the same place, though Javinator having already beat the dragons, definitely going to be leaving earlier.
Well, we found another Magus Rod. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Shadow can equip it.
Yeah, it's not going to be too big a deal. I don't know how much fiddling I would be doing with my equipment at this point. I mean, when you're up against two very strong runners in Kilbasiago and Jex, you sort of want to save as many seconds as you can. Actually, I didn't find the sprite guide, Hawks. If you can DM that to me, that would be great. So he's gonna find Dada Luma here in the Fanatics Tower. That's not going to be a very difficult sprite, so easily going to be able to take care of this.
Yeah, and especially now you've got Berserk going to just well, no, you don't even need the setup. So yeah, we're done. Let's just get out of this tower.
Yeah, this is Dada Luma. Like, why are you setting up Berserk? You know, he's going to be dead fairly quickly. Shout out to Hawksnorf who's in chat. He did a lot of the sprites that we're seeing here. He's been one of the more active community members creating new sprites, and recently created a selfie sprite, which I'm going to have to sort of introduce into my repertoire because Selfie is one of my favorite Final Fantasy characters.
Oh, there's a cat hood from the dragon, so that's we're about to get a lot of money.
Yeah, cat hood, an interesting helm. It gives 50% resistance to four elements, and it doubles the amount of 8 gold that you get from fights. So very useful there. This looks like it's a character, but I've been confused before.
I think this is
Probably Cyan.
Vaguely character-like. Oh, it's Go-Go.
It's Go-Go. So, I was completely off.
Well, we have one additional check. Are we going to take care of this immediately? Nope.
Yeah. Says a lot about a check when you would rather do Ebbett's Rock. But Javinator going to hold off on doing the Zone Eater check.
Yeah, Zone Eater is one of those checks that you like to do much earlier rather than later, if only because the items will actually be consequential.
Absolutely. Go-Go's been very useful in some of these flag sets when the stats have been buffed, or even when the stats were more chaotic. You know, because if Go-Go rolls high stats, he can be very useful. But most of the time, you're not really going to go for him. Just generally, it's easier to get things done with party members that can equip Espers. So, looks like Javinator making his way through Ibit's Rock, and meanwhile Kilbasiago finally taking on Strago here. Or taking on Kefket Narsh, yeah.
Yeah, Jev did not get a nice pattern on the way out, but here's the boss. We're good now.
Yep. Ebbett's Rock, you never can really predict how it's going to go. And Funbaba, he tends to be beefy, but in these flags, he's not going to be particularly difficult to deal with, although he will immediately knock out Strago. So we get to see the Fusoya mop that everybody's a fan of.
It doesn't even get picked back up for the experience.
Yeah, well, there's no time. Oh, yay! And shoutouts to Hawksnorf, who sent me the sprite guide, so I'll be able to figure out what's going on the screen now.
All right, so we've got an Esper that teaches Fire 3. So Shadow can learn Fire and Ice. And are we splitting folks up for Phoenix Cave on Jex's screen? It looks like it.
Not a bad call. I feel like I might have waited on this because you don't have lock yet. You will be able to handle the dragon in these flags, but Jex only has 5 characters, 7 espers. He's going to need what is it? Something like math is hard. 7 more characters. He's going to need 11 more espers. It's a good chance that he's going to want to come complete this check with lock. So
yeah,
either way,
you can because you are unfortunately not able to get the item at the end of this here. Meanwhile, Javinator is now going to give the Zone Eater a try, and Keel is finally going to give Fanatic's Tower a try.
not a fan of this particular check. People don't like the RNG in Embett's Rock. They also really don't like the RNG in Zone Eater. You've got those conductors that are moving back and forth, knocking you off the path, and you sort of just got to cross your fingers and hope that you get a favorable pattern. You can sit there for 40 seconds, 50 seconds, even a couple minutes just waiting for them to get the hell out of your way.
So we'll see how pushy they're feeling today. Oh, beautiful. Alright, Jab is through. And then there's also the crushing ceiling, which once you've died to this once, you will always use the save point.
Yeah, crushing ceiling, I don't know. It's one of those things. I just don't trust my execution well enough to not save for it. You know, theoretically, you should be able to get through without getting knocked, but it's deep magic sometimes to get through consistently. So
yeah, the first time you open that that first chest in the room and it's an auto crossbow and you get crushed, it's such a bad feeling.
absolutely. So it's a magicite here in Maduin, which means Burning House is required to finish this seed. And what are we doing? Why is this seed so linear?
All right. Meanwhile, we have found the dirt dragon, and the dirt dragon is just the worst.
So Javinator changed his party around now. Let's see if they're still in order. We might be donating Nami to Please or something. No, we're instructing Nami to donate, it looks like. So we'll see that in the next fight, and we'll see if he chooses to correct that. One of the dangers of having to revise your party. So yeah, Javinator finally going to do this Mount Zozo. And he's going to be disappointed there's no character here, so ultimately going to have to go do the Burning House check that he's been avoiding.
Yeah.
So
Lots of folks have been putting off. We'll put off the burning house until the very, very, very end. And gosh, anybody that would have taken the initiative to just run through that would have had a little bit of a nice lead.
But the espers that they found still required, and on the positive side, one of the people who donated offered to donate another $66.66 in the event that somebody did all 3 strago checks. And at this point, it is guaranteed that Javinator will do all 3 strago checks. Speaking of donations, are there any announcements that need to be made right now?
We do have a few donations.
Excellent.
We have $25 from Vaughn. It says, repping for the WC Mod Squad. Good luck to our runners and commentators, and boo Jack. A Smith 1313 donates $10. Says FF6 is awesome. Good luck to the runners. Tara is best girl. And we have $6 from Mokomichi USA. Greetings from the Japanese restream. Hello. And we have a $75 donation from Timbo Spice. Says, I love the runs that don't intentionally kill characters. Thank you so much for that. I also like to mention that we do have a couple donation incentives that are very close to being met for the upcoming games. Yakuza Like a Dragon, we have Visit the Karaoke Bar. Only needs another $25 for that incentive to be met. We have 525 out of 550. And for Suikoden 2 Iron Chef Battle, we only need $70 more to get that incentive met. So get your donations in, guys. Let's hit that $20,000 mark before the end of this run. We can do this.
I'm just going to throw this out there. Jexfrock, caring not at all, goes ahead and does not save while going through that falling ceiling section. Doesn't save, and he goes for the chest. That is, he's pretty manly there. Congrats to Jax for making it through. That could have been a massive time loss. He risked several minutes to save a couple seconds.
Oh, my heart.
Meanwhile, looks like Javinator's finally going to face the music and take on this burning house. Checking the tracker to see where he is. He's at 512, and it looks like he's done 4 dragons. So he's got 2 more dragons in the world before Kefka. There are 2 dragons in Kefka's tower proper. And he's got several characters and espers to find.
Oh, this might be one of those situations where it would be preferable for a different character to go first. That is an empty calorie group if I've ever seen.
Yeah. Unfortunate that he has to deal with these guys, though they do give him a fair amount of gold. So, I mean, if he decides that he wants to buy Super Balls or Minerva or a bunch of offerings for everybody, he can make that happen. Looks like I misspoke about the characters required. It is 8-16-8 that's going on here, and not the 12-18.
Gotcha.
So 3 characters still required for all 3 of the runners. Janet seems to need what is it, another 10? Nope, another 8. Math is hard, man.
Never do math on Twitch, it'll always betray you.
Apparently. I promise I'm not this dumb. Yeah, that's correct, Vaughn. I was looking at the statue skip numbers.
All right, so who will we run into once we've cleared out this this house that is clearly not up to code?
Well, we still haven't found most of the difficult bosses. I mean, we've seen Goddess, but at this point, you know, there's still Poultrygeist on the table. There's Magi Master. There's Guardian. Of course, none of them at this point are going to pose a threat to any of our runners. We have hit the point where we have enough XP. We're just going to get through.
Well, here's Ultros for. So.
Did Javinator never level up the Paladin shield?
I don't think so.
Well, now's as good a time as any to do it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you're having trouble finding something for one of your characters to do, having them spin around in a circle repeatedly is a pretty good option.
Yeah, this boss can always be a drag when you find it. You know, like if you're going through Kefka's Tower just looking for 1 or 2 extra levels, you know, and you run into this boss, you're like, oh man, why the boss that sneezes you away? And who is this character? Well, let's see. I've got this.
Is that Mon?
Is it Sephiroth? Which would mean it's Setzer? I think it's. I'm gonna say it's Setzer. We'll see when they stand up.
It's definitely Mog.
Oh no, that's Mog. My bad. I was looking at the person who's lying down. Yep, you're right. That is Mog, which means we get one check out of that. The seed continuing to be quite linear, and also quite annoying because that means it was required to do Kefka at Narsh before you did the Mog check. This seed really likes the Narsh theme music. So yeah, Kilbasiago and Jex both still playing catch up, doing these checks that Javinator has. He's solidified his lead here as the first player with 6 characters, soon to be 7. It's guaranteed to be a character here, and then he's got to find another character and a couple more espers. By a couple, I mean 6. 4? Math is hard.
I'm telling you. But it's, I mean, everything from this point onward, there aren't too many characters left that will not give very good checks. So, you know, things are looking pretty good.
Absolutely. You know, like if we wanted to be real terrible, we would put Gao here and force you to do Serpent Trench, but even that wouldn't be the worst. You know, we've gone through all the characters that have only 1 check, so all that remains is 2 check or 3 check characters at the worst. Javinator, of course, remembering to go into the Narsh shed and activate Lone Wolf, so credit to him. That can cost a lot of runners a lot of time, and just be a source of frustration. Looks like we got Locke.
Oh no, what if Phoenix Cave is required?
Well, that'll make a Jex sort of sad.
Yeah, that will. But the first move definitely from this point is to go see what's going on in the Tunnel Armor Cave.
Yeah, possibly. I feel like I would definitely do Phoenix Cave first, because you're going to do Phoenix Cave either way, and if you find a character in Phoenix Cave, and it's someone like Terra or whatever, then that might make a character in South Figaro Cave into like a dead check almost.
I mean, this is definitely a point where you could have divergence either way, like if they're both characters.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to be both characters at this point. Come on, how long can this seed stay completely linear? Especially after I bloviated about how routes will always be different in this rando. We get these perfectly in sync routes. Like Keel and Jex are a little bit behind, but they're going to be running the exact same route because it's the only route. So to answer some of the confusion in chat, Atma very recently made an update on the dev site that allows you to go into Phoenix Cave without taking Locke with you. And he did so in time for the marathon, so these runners would be able to do an 8 dragon seed if that was necessary, while still having a decent estimate. So shout outs to Atmatech. Definitely, this is one of the rare instances of a large randomizer that's been programmed to this point solely by one person, and he's done an excellent job.
Oof. So, we have the mop on Javinator's side again because the Curse Shield doesn't play well with Merton at all.
Strago once again going to be dead for the fight. Poultrygeist is not typically the boss you want to wear Curse Shield to.
Oh, we have Cyan now, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. So Cyan with jump automatically. That would that be tempting to you, Edge? You got the gauntlet, so you could give him the Aura Lance and the Dragon Horn and just have him jump and do double the damage.
Is this it depends on the settings. Is this new characters come in at average level?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless I guess unless the current Dragoon so Edgar in this case would have a lot of strength built up from the Esper. I would be hesitant to switch. Otherwise, this seems like a pretty good late substitution.
Yeah, I feel like I would give Edgar the Atma weapon or the Valiant Knife and let him use the strength in that way, and switch Umaro out. But that's just me. I have a hate for the Yeti. I just like being able to tell him what to do. So with Cyan, we're going to head immediately to Doma Castle. Feels like you got to do Cyan's Dream. So we'll see if Javinator agrees and decides to do that. Meantime, you also definitely have to do Phoenix Cave, so we'll see how this goes. It looks like Jex is catching up with the Burning House, and Keel is going to find Locke here as well. So Keel not so far behind Javinator. Definitely room to catch up in this seed, especially if Javinator chooses to spend a lot of time in menus. Looks like he's switching Cyan in, so switching Cyan in place of Shadow. Not what I would have expected, but says donate to questing for glory, please. Use
Burning house. Sorry.
What are you doing? Oh well, so it's one of the ways that it's possible for Kilbasiago to catch up is he doesn't spend nearly as much time in menus towards the late game as a lot of other runners do. And he put that on display when he was playing in the draft tournament, which I'll remind you, he won. He beat Javnator 2-0. So this is a chance for Javnator to get revenge, and he's got a sizable lead, but this is also a chance for Kielbasa to, use his strength in the later portion of this game to once again just shoot past him. As we're approaching the 90-minute mark, are there any announcements we'd like to make?
I was going to say, speaking of burning houses, we have a anonymous donation of $6.66 that says, "Burning house required. What more can I ask for?" Also wanted to take a moment, too, to mention a few of the prizes. You have until the end of the next run, Ultima 4, with a minimum $20 donation. You can be entered to win a Sega Dreamcast that was gifted to us by P. Diggity Dog. We also have a Black Legacy 16 wired USB controller donated by Retrobit Gaming with a $5 minimum donation, as well as a Final Fantasy VI Kefka vs. the Returners artwork gifted to us by Crystal V. Fay, and that is also for a $5 minimum donation.
Thank you. So we're late enough, and we're not, but I will take this moment to say anybody who's interested in joining Worlds Collide Discord, someone will probably provide a link in chat right now, and thank you to that person, whoever does it. Yeah, there are a lot of ways to play this game. And one of the ones here, the draft that you're seeing, it's an incredibly robust way of playing this game. It tends to test all of your Worlds Collide skills, and hopefully it's a lot of fun for people. So you can actually easily get challenge someone to a draft race. A lot of races going on these days. It's been a lot of fun. So. Anyone who's interested in joining the community, welcome, and hope you guys have fun with it. We're about to find whether it's a character or an Esper here on Javnator's side. He's hoping for an Esper, and he finds Gao. So that's going to be a character. He's going to end the seed probably with at least 9 characters. He's gonna do Phoenix Cave. I can't see him like walking back out, so he's going to wind up doing the Phoenix Cave either way. So we'll see how this ends.
Yeah, meanwhile, Keel is making up quite a bit of time on Javnator right now, only being an Esper behind at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, an Esper behind in this check that includes an Esper. So he's in the same check. He's really just a single boss, like half of a check behind. He's going to he's potentially going to be able to catch up. Javnator made a party change that I agree with, but he possibly is going to regret the amount of time he spent trying to figure out who's going to equip what. Lost a couple minutes there. And just a reminder, he asked us to point out all of his mistakes and to drag him over the coals a little bit in commentary. So you're welcome, Jav. We're seeing a bit of a sprite inconsistency here. Looks like we don't have a sprite for the King Baron when he's riding the Magitech armor. So sort of disappeared a couple times there. Yeah, as Mr. Entity pointing out in chat, it's possible to save yourself into a corner here, so to speak. It's possible to be stuck in the Cyan's dream and not be able to escape unless you beat a boss. But at this point, I'm pretty confident that whatever they encounter, they'll be able to beat. This includes Atma, who Javnator facing right now. Probably gonna be able to handle this in a couple turns. You can see the Yeti already doing over 13,000 damage just with one turn. And that's the Yeti with the Atma weapon, so, I mean... Cyan doing almost 10k per leap. Significant amount of damage there.
Yeah, they are just absolutely running these bosses through the proverbial blender.
Yep. Oh, and Gao has Possess. X Magic, not super important, but Possess is pretty much the one ability that you almost always want to incorporate, because it is instant death for anything, including Final Kefka. So, quite possible that Gao is going to be used in Javnator's final party.
Yeah, if you can stack your party in such a way where, actually, you don't really even need to worry about calmness protection at this point. You could just go through tier 3 and then let Gao show up in tier 4.
Yeah, though with your luck, with the levels that they have, they're going to be blocking calmness. Gao will never see.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but definitely going to be interested in bringing Gao into the fold, and it's possible that the differing strategies on dealing with Gao are going to be key in who wins this race, because Javnator and Keel, the lead is growing smaller as we speak.
Yeah, every one of these gear rearrangements works in favor of Keel, so...
It makes me a little bit sad because while we talk about gear rearrangements and such, he's also making an effort to rearrange his party to keep that message out. So that message is for all y'all watching to donate, please, to Questing for Glory to support Nami. Javnator, he's sacrificing the frames. He is giving up seconds to tell you that. So hopefully y'all are hearing this. It's going to get real hectic real soon, so if there's any announcement we want to make, now is going to be probably the best time in the next few minutes or so.
Sure, Elastoid. We do have a few donations that just came in. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Hirobal donated $50. No comment. Thank you. We have a $50 donation from Dr. DT that says, "Can we donate to kill the toilet Atma?" Minovsky 0079 donates $25. He says, "To-do list for tomorrow. Get groceries, stop by the post office, go to the karaoke bar. Cannot wait to see Frub's Yakuza LED run tomorrow and help out such an important cause." Thank you so much for that donation.
So Javnator and Jex have answered Dr. DT, who asked if there was a possibility to donate to kill Toilet Atma. They both said they'd do it. So yeah, get your donations in if you want to see Toilet. I don't know whether that was already. I don't know. They're gonna do it. So if you want to donate for it, it's done.
Alright, so just setting up Umaro to have 1 HP with the Valiant Knife.
That's interesting.
And it's this jerk, so it doesn't work.
Oh man, it was a good call, and it's not ideal that he starts with Quake, but I mean Umaro's not going to have 1 HP, but he'll still have low HP from using the Phoenix down, so they'll still be all right. And it looks like
Marva, meanwhile, going with the flying tackle, and this is probably where Keel is going to pass Javinator.
Javinator going for the swag. You got to give him credit. You know, he's trying to put on a show, and he's succeeding.
Yeah, chat, can we get a $5 toilet Atma hype train going? Let's do it. Let's crush that 20,000 right now.
Absolutely. All three runners have agreed, chat, to do toilet Atma. So they're doing it for you once again. They are sacrificing the frames. They are sacrificing the precious seconds in this race in order to impress you by killing Atma. So please, whatever you can donate, it's for a worthy cause. Looks like Javinator's going to get through. We're going to see what it is that was chilling here in the Phoenix Cave. It seems it was Setzer. It looks like Setzer. Is it Setzer? It looked like Setzer from behind, but that doesn't mean
it looks like Brian Setzer, actually.
Setzer has Blitz, which would have been amazing if we got it early.
I mean, we're currently at the correct level to just head over to visit Duncan.
Yeah, but is it really going to save you time at this point?
Nah.
So, 10 characters, 15 espers, and 5 dragons on Javinator's side. He is close. He's going to fight this for the last esper that he needs, and then he still needs 1 dragon. Which dragon is... Oh, just the dragon in Opera House. Yeah, so he's going to be done fairly quickly. And Kill Basiago not far behind. Kill Basiago hitting... Actually, Basiago has already killed the dragon in Opera House, so this is about as close to a tied race as it can be. Fairly exciting. Meanwhile, Jex is bringing up the rear. He's about a character and an esper behind. He's going to be unhappy to discover that the Phoenix Cave... Actually, I guess the Phoenix Cave isn't required, so he's going to be fine. Cyan, once he does Cyan's Dream, he's going to be absolutely fine here. And he has done Cyan's Dream, rather, so he's going to do some Gao checks instead of focusing on any Setzer checks. It's going to be a different route, but he'll be able to get through. Meanwhile, it looks like Javinator making potentially a mistake here. I don't think he's noticed that he hasn't done the Opera House Dragon. So he's entering Kefka's tower, and he's gonna be bonked by that door potentially.
I think Javinator just didn't mark Dirt Dragon on the tracker.
Oh, they're all using an auto tracker. They're not taking time to mark anything on the tracker. So the tracker is reading from the ROM itself. And that Dirt Dragon, the Opera House Dragon, has not been taken care of. So while Javinator's entering Kefka's tower a little bit early, unfortunately, you got 10 characters, you got 16 espers, you've done 5 dragons. You feel like you did 6, but you didn't, and potentially going to be a problem here. But menus and equipment management can be the largest boss in the game, and it looks like Kill Basiago losing some time to it.
The toilet Atma donations are pouring in. Thank you guys.
Well, now's a great time to read some as Toilet Atma is coming up.
Let's do it. Okay, BD Jeffy P donates $25. No comment. Thank you so much. Lixieveal donates $50. Says, kill the toilet Atmas. Don't save the toilet Atmas. Emmy Pup donates $20. Says, toilet Atma hype. Lady Lore donates $5. Says, toilet Atma hype train. Max Frost donates $50. Says, more bosses, more Atma. A $5 donation from Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous. Lork donates $50. No comment. Thank you so much for that generous donation. J Brun TR donates $5 and just says, for the toilet Atma incentive. Thank you guys so much. We're so close. And we just got a $5, another $5 from Jolly Green Ray that says, for toilet Atma and to see Yeti versus Kefka. Umaru, please. Thank you guys so much.
I gotta say, it's interesting, Edge, in a speed where you're picking up at least 8 characters, and it turns out you're picking up 10. All 3 racers choosing to keep Umaru. I find that interesting.
It seems like a somewhat of a gentleman's agreement to me, but we'll have to ask afterwards.
Although, just as I said that, I noticed that Jex threw away Umaru. I think it's the right call, but you know, we'll see how this goes. Meanwhile, Shadow using Super Balls to handle Doom. I feel like now is not the time. Shadow could easily be using Shock at this point, but we got a high five. Both Javinator and Kielbasiago handling Doom at the same time.
Yeah, and Kiel getting the best of Doom first, and gets a behemoth suit, which is not a bad piece of gear.
No, it is not. That's Toilet Atma handled on Kielbasiago's side, and it looks like very soon to be handled on Javinator's side. Javinator, it's just Umaru versus Toilet Atma Doom. So, also Toilet Atma Doom seems like a fun thing to say.
I like how you just said Toilet Atma Doom goes down. Could you say he got flushed?
If only Setzer and Edgar were fighting him, it would be a royal flush.
Oh my goodness, the puns. Let's get a pun train going. Come on, chat.
Oh yeah,
Setzer and Edgar, that pun was working overtime right there. That was
yeah, help us out with some donations. We can be flush with cash.
I wish I had a topper, but I don't. That's amazing. I'm just enjoying the flush with cash. Yes. I'm fine conceding victory to you, Edge.
Yeah, no more in the tank. You're just bowled over, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, so just the last of the dragons to go here. Javinator is unfortunately going to bounce off of the dragon seal coming up here.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to predict how this goes, but again, you know, it's possible that Kielbasiago doesn't make use of Possess and Javinator does. This could be a photo finish. You know, it depends entirely on how quickly Javinator reacts to what's going to happen. As he finds a snow muffler for Umaro, that's a pretty nice thing to have on a character who's standing in the front row and going to be low health all the time. That's going to be quite useful. Javinator making safety saves everywhere. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna have a fairly decent time, but you never know how this is gonna go. Kilbasiago he's so fast in the late game. It can be oppressive to play against. I can say from experience. So we'll see how this goes. Kilbasiago, I didn't mention, was runner-up in the ladder tournament. So he potentially could have been the first person in Worlds Collide history to win 2 tournament events, but he fell short to Dozenty in the final race. Looks like Kilbasiago resetting here.
Yeah, and we've got all our runners in Kefka's Tower right now, so this is shaping up to be pretty close. Pretty heads up move from Jex there to throw Possess onto Gogo.
Oh, that's such a good move. Oh man, yeah, Possess obviously really great ability. It is an instant death on anything, even things that are instant death immune. And having it on 2 characters for the final battle is going to mean that you can handle Tier 3 and Kefka instantly with it. And definitely quite strong.
Yeah, Javinator here unfortunately realizes the bounce happened, and so now we're just we're in a position where Javinator, who led through most of this race, could actually be behind Jex right now.
Yeah. Incidentally, if anybody's looking for a peek behind the curtain, Kilbasiago has expressed some frustration with the seed, and that frustration was echoed by Javinator. So they're having a bit of a laugh in the race room chat. The language I will not repeat. I will just say that it's interesting. So yeah, Javinator going to make short work of this boss, and then he's going to be able to jump in with the 8 dragons. But he's going to have probably about 90 seconds to actually, it's closer to like 2.5 minutes worth of walking that he's going to have to redo. So here's hoping that he can get back quickly and turn this into a closer race.
Oh, that was almost pretty scary on Jex's side with the
zombified Umaro.
Yeah. Yeah, you do not want to get on the wrong side of our fuzzy friend here.
Yeah, absolutely. When he's got offering especially, it can be quite dangerous.
So meanwhile, Keel pulling out some nice strats, knowing the status immunities of the dragons is important in a race like this, and just pulled out the silence. So now we're just gonna sit here for a little while.
Yes, White Dragon can be silenced and not able to do any attacks, even though he wasn't really a threat to Kilbasiago. Still, I mean, casting Pearl takes time. It's got a long animation, and White Dragon can cast it 3 times in a row. It's best to just put a stop to that. Kilbasiago, incidentally, put together a tracker that shows the status vulnerabilities of all enemies, and has made that publicly available. That on top of Kilbasiago, which is the Discord bot used to draft any of these flag sets. He's made a lot of positive contributions on the coding side to this community. So shout outs to that. So we're approaching the final stretch. Looks like Kilbasiago about to go through the dragon door. There will be no bounce here, and these characters are about to get to where the statue skip would normally take you. So there's going to be 4 bosses remaining, 2 down the middle path and 1 down the left and right path, and then there's nothing left but Final Kefka.
Do we have more time for donations in the final stretch?
Absolutely.
All right. We have $15 from Ceiling Cat. It says 3 train cars for Toilet Atma. We have $100 from Zenifer. It says the screen said donate to QFG, please. Thank you to everyone for donating to a fantastic organization. Thank you so much for that donation. Softnum donates $10, says don't get bogged down now, you're on a roll. We're ready to wipe Kefka off this seed. Wells donates $20 and says, that was a terrible pun. How long were you sabing up for that? Lock in for a photo finish here. Go all the way to the end. Let's go, Edgar. That was awesome, Wells. Thank you so much for that great pun.
Sort of tapered off at the end there, but I still approve. Are you going to make the big announcement?
Yes, we are. We just hit $20,000. Thank you guys so much. Hype. Put us over the line here by, let's see, we got Super Monkey donated $5, no comment. Lixveal donated $35 and said 100 more to 20K. And at that point, we were only 75 away. And Lork donates $76 to push us over the line. And that extra dollar to boot. Thank you guys so much for all your generous donations.
Absolutely. Thank everybody for donating. I was hopeful that we could hit that 20K mark during our stream, so I could sort of, absorb some of the glory from it, and I'm glad that it happened. I'm glad to be here when that happens. So it looked like it was Magi Master, but it was just number 24 that's in Javinator's way, and these 2 runners are neck and neck. Credit to Javinator for sort of a pretty difficult comeback after having to leave and come back. But Menu Boss is getting everybody here, and it's.
As long as you can keep it close, you still have a very good chance here.
Yep. But meantime, wanted to check one thing. Yeah, okay. And it looks like we're gonna have a pretty solid run here. It's unlikely that anybody's going to finish in under 2 hours, but definitely going to be under 2:10 unless something crazy happens. So yeah, credit to all of these runners. You can probably count on both hands, right? The number of runners alive who could easily hit under 2:10 for a seed that's 8, 16, and 8. That is not an easy feat, and these guys, I believe all 3 of them are going to accomplish it.
I had a little bit of a heart attack watching Keel do a jump into a launcher, just because that never plays nice with the game's coding. But
oh yeah,
we're okay.
There are still the occasional bug, but we're fine. We're totally fine. This is easy.
Yeah, and then,
That's
and
her
then
with.
Jav gets a wave cannon, so we're good. We're good. It'll be fine.
Oh, is Gao gonna? It looked like he told Gao to possess the Guardian, but Gao died before he could. Oh, is he gonna? He's suplexing Guardian.
I mean, Guardian is the closest thing we have to a train thus far, so we gotta try it. Oh, but wait! There's the train!
Oh man.
Oh my goodness, I hope Gogo is on the other side.
Feel like you're. Yeah. So, looks like it's hard to tell who's going to be starting this Kefka fight first. Impressively, they're all like just a boss or two separates these runners here. It's going to be a photo finish. Like even though Jex was significantly behind, he made up a lot of ground here, and is going in. He's still got bosses to fight, but he's also got two characters with possess. So this could be close.
One less character with Possess, and I totally agree with this move. Unfortunately, it failed, so let's try again. Javinator having to reset out. Are we gonna see Blitz put on the on Gogo?
Oh wow, he's resetting out so he can handle that. That is
Javinator, you are wonderful.
Javinator is truly a champ. He's putting Blitz onto Gogo, and he realized he can put Possess onto Gogo. He puts Blitz onto Gogo, so we're going to suplex the train for the crowd. This is everybody's favorite Final Fantasy VI meme. It is not Demon Chocobo. It is not any singing along with the opera. Though both of those are fine memes. Nothing can stand up to suplexing the train. So for everybody, here it is. He takes a bit of a deficit. Is Kilbasiago already starting the final battle? But you might think it's worth it.
Well, we just had another reset on Jex's side.
Is he doing the same thing?
I don't know. Right
Well,
now,
he said in their chat, he said, "Oops." So it's possible that he meant that it was a mistake. Strago gonna die almost immediately, so Kilbasiago not particularly concerned about running out of strong characters here. He's got all the levels, he's got all the characters, something's gonna get done, so he's just going, and he's already on tier 2. Meanwhile, Javinator will be starting this last fight as soon as he figures out where his espers are gonna be and does the last of his menuing.
yeah. Meanwhile, however, Keel is already on tier 2, so just flying through this fight. And it's kind of to be expected with the amount of firepower you have here.
Yeah. Yao has no spells, so his X magic is completely useless, but he does have super balls he can use. So that's what he's going to be doing until he gets to tier 3 and can use possess. Kefka, in this case, being played by a bird.
Yeah, and so Keel's just going to hold off on the Super Balls now, which I think is a good idea. It's too time-consuming for the little amount of damage that you're getting from it.
Yeah, it's especially, it can be potentially hitting, tools or something else that's just going to die to like AoE damage and such. It's really not important.
Yeah,
So
meanwhile, Jex popped one of the possesses to get through the Guardian fight, which I can't say I really uh, blame Jex for. It's a pretty solid move that is a very time-consuming boss.
absolutely, he could easily come back in this race. He will. It's gonna be hard to say. Looks like Gogo is dead. Did Gogo possess already on Javinator's side?
I don't know. Gogo is just missing, so it seems so.
Oh, I don't know if I can agree with that play. I feel like there are other enemies that are going to be better possessed targets, but I guess he wasn't focusing on Gogo, so it's a way just to get rid of him early. And also, we don't want people to donate to Gao Gogo. We want them to donate to Questing for Glory. So he makes
And-
use of both of those possesses in the first phase to just try and take advantage of that extra speed and then go forward. Yeah, this is getting pretty close. Heel holding on to that possess for oh hey. Yeah, Keel hanging on to that final possess, I think, for
wow!
oh no, that calmness was lady's calmness. It wasn't the calmness. If that's what the WoW was for.
No, it was just the regular calmness that got Umaro did the Secret Service dive in front of Gao.
Oh hey, I didn't. Yeah, I think I'm just a little bit behind here. So if you want to call the final Kefka fight, that'd be great because you're seeing it in real time.
All right, so we have our first view of Kefka, and this may not last very long. We'll see what happens on the Gao turn. Oh gosh, here comes the hyperdrive already because of the amount of damage that was done. And that's it. Gone.
Kilbasiago finishes with a time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 53 seconds. Get your GGs out for Kilbasiago. And we'll see if we can get him in here to have a quick interview while we watch as both Jex and Jav compete for second place in this Kefka fight. So Javnator on tier 2. We've got our donate to Nami please party back up. Looks like he's gonna be he's preparing at least to make use of some shields, but for now he's got the throw going. He's casting Ice 3. He's got just a lot of damage to throw at these guys. Looks like Jex is going to clear tier 1 just as Jav clears tier 2. So, two of them fairly close. Jex just one tier behind, though tier 2 can be the more time-consuming of all of them.
Yeah, just the sheer amount of damage getting thrown out here from the Dragoon setups, the Atma weapons, the Valiant knives. It's been pretty solid on for all the runners. So they shouldn't have too much trouble with Kefka unless or Kefka's tower, unless
All
we
right.
run into double calmness.
Yeah, one of the great things about this rando is you can always run into double calmness and be in trouble. You know, Meteo phase can kill a party member. It gets pretty hectic towards the end. We do have Kill Basiago in the Discord if someone can move him over.
Oh well, your prediction was correct. On we're 2 for 2 on calmness just getting blocked.
Yeah, it's we got some high level characters, and we were joined by Kilbasiago. GG to you, Kill. How do you feel after winning that race?
GG's. It was a lot of fun. It was a little easy, I guess, but I had fun using Umaro the entire way. That was something.
Absolutely. You know, you were actually behind for the majority of it, but you know, you really put the brakes on towards the end of the seed. Was that something that you did deliberately, or just the way it panned out?
I actually thought I would have been ahead. I guess I did have kind of a slow start. I took that really early dragon fight, but I don't know. I think it went about how I expected.
Yeah. Javnator lost a little bit of time using rename card to name his characters Donate to Nami, please. But he lost a lot more time because he forgot to do the Opera House Dragon. He was ahead until that point. He bonked on the door and had to go back out.
Ooh, that's really rough.
It is, though. You made good use of possess. Can you tell us what went through your mind when you found your party is already strong. You're obviously not planning on making any changes, but then suddenly Gao has possess. What do you think?
So I never actually checked Gao's skill, but once I saw it and I had Go-Go, I already knew what I was going to do. I was planning on doing it to tier 3, but I Blu-ray through that unintentionally. But yeah, I've done that in a few races before. Whenever I get possessing Go-Go, you just kind of plan ahead, put the 2 on deck, and then kill off a character, and then possess tier 3, and then you possess Kefka, and it just saves a ton of time. Wasn't able to do it exactly there, but I got Kefka with it.
Meanwhile, Javinator finished with a time of 2 hours, 6 minutes, 54 seconds. We're joined by Javinator. GG, man. How'd it go? Javinator's mic is not making any noise right now.
Oh, sorry. I had the mic physically turned off just in case some sound came through and I messed up my stuff. But yeah, that was fun. I don't think I've ever felt that powerful in a seed before. That was a good time.
Yeah, 8 unscaled dragons do a lot for a party. Can you tell us a little bit about? I'm sorry, I'm going to bring up the missing that dragon.
Yeah, that'll happen. I mean, I've got a tracker. It's right there. I've got no excuse. I was just so excited when I finally got that last Esper. I was in go mode. Of course, I wasn't actually in go mode, but it sure felt like it. But yeah, that was. Other than, I think it would have been like photo finish between me and Keel if I didn't mess that up.
That is true, but also if you hadn't done all the things that you did for our audience here, we were quite glad to see you suplex the train. You even went out of that fight so you could give Go-Go Blitz and suplex that train. And then of course the names for your characters. I want to say you guys should all or both be aware, and I'll let Jax know when he comes in. We got a lot of donations as a result of that toilet Atma, and it put
Nice.
us over the 20K mark. So
that's
thanks
awesome.
you guys for doing that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it looks like Jex finished with a time of 2:08:41. All right, so we're talking about less than a full 6 minutes separating these runners. So GG to all 3 of them. Jex, how you doing?
Jeez.
So we're not the run was on time, but their marathon is a little bit behind, so we don't have a whole lot of time for the interviews. So just if any of you guys want to give some shout outs and talk about like your Twitch channel link or anything like that, that'd be great. We'll start with you, Jex.
Yeah. Thanks for having me here on RPG Limit Break. Questing for glory. In regards to the seed, Javinator, I would have beat you if I didn't make 2 very silly screw ups, like throwing a heal rod at myself.
Who hasn't done that? So Javinator.
Sure. Well, I mean, my stream plug's up there. I mostly play this game, so if you want to come check me out, this is what I'll be doing. That was a lot of fun. I don't know how much you guys did shoutouts, but thanks to Atmatech, obviously, for developing this amazing rando. We all love it. Thanks a lot, QFG, for giving us the opportunity to run it. I can't believe we made our estimate. Yay, us. And thank you guys and everybody who's involved. The community is amazing. Please join the community, join the Discord. ff6wc.com, and yeah, just happy to be part of this, and thanks so much for putting this on.
All planned. All right, Kielbasiago, you got any final thoughts you want to say?
Nope. Thanks, everybody for watching. Have a bunch of friends, Noodle, Mel, cousins, family, all that for watching, and everyone who donated, and yeah, thanks for putting on the event, Atmatech, all that. Everything else Jeff said.
Yeah, I'll echo thanks everybody for your donations. I was so glad to see that we passed 20K during this run. I'm going to throw it to Edge for any final thoughts, and then he can throw it to our host, Apostolic Paladin. Sorry, I can't say that.
No, just thank you again to RPG Limit Break and Questing for Glory, High Spirits, RPG, the RPG Chick, everybody that helped us out to get us into the marathon and make it a success. So thanks a lot, and thanks to y'all behind the scenes for putting on a marathon for such a good cause. All right, take us home.
For the donations that were pouring in during that, I made it a personal goal to hit that 20,000, and we exceeded it. Thank you guys so much. We did get a few last minute ones in. We have $5 from Stegens, who says, I was going to donate for 20K, but someone beat me. Sad face. Here we go for 25. Thank you so much, Stegens. And that $5 does count. We have $5 from J Brun TR, who says, cue the Batman meme with Alfred saying, some men just want to hear the words toilet atma on stream. Thank you so much. We have $5 from Mokomichi USA, who says, greetings from the Japanese restream. Hello.